is facing aggravated robbery and tampering with evidence charges.
Today, News Center 7 was in Trotwood when police said they pulled almost 20 guns and illegal marijuana out of a business. And we're talking about Best Buds Depot on Salem Avenue. Police did not shut down the place, but the owner told News Center 7 officers took all of his product. That forced him to close. Police said they took over this place after a state lab found it had illegal amounts of THC.
Drugs and guns, I don't care what law they pass, drugs and guns is never a good combination.
Police did not arrest anybody, but investigators said they were working with the prosecutor's office for potential charges. And Butler Township trustees said no marijuana there for at least a year. They passed a moratorium last night. This includes cultivation, processing, and retail sales. Almost a dozen other cities in our area have moratoriums as well.
And News Center 7 looked into recreational pot in Ohio. Non-medical marijuana is not yet available to purchase in dispensaries. Only registered patients or caregivers are permitted in those dispensaries. And according to the Department of Commerce, they will only allow 50 dispensary licenses in the state. And the Dayton Police Department is hoping somebody watching knows who these people are. Investigators say the two are connected to an attacking and robbing a street performer near Day Air Ballpark. News Center 7 reported 3 people attacked the 74-year-old performer last week and stole his tip bucket and instruments. Police said they arrested 1 person.
The Storm Center 7 weather specialist Nick Dunn joins us here on the set. And frost and freeze. Warnings and advisory, huh?
I know, it's crazy. We go from 80s to 30s last week. We're about to do the same thing this week. But before we get there, we got to get through to the potential for some frost tonight. So if you haven't already covered the plans, you might want to do that. Starting in about 40 minutes or so from now, a frost advisory and a freeze warning go into effect across the Miami Valley. Our northern counties there in purple, that's where that freeze warning is in effect, where temperatures have the best chance of getting below 32. Everybody else, it's still a frost advisory, same concept, but about 33 to 36 degrees for you in these areas in blue on average. But either way you slice it tonight, you want to make sure that those plants are covered so that you don't wake up tomorrow with damaged plants. We'll take you outside to Dayton late this evening. The clouds have been really stubborn to clear this evening. So while this temperature is a little maybe misconceiving, if you will, at 46, wind out of the northeast at 10 makes it feel a little bit colder than that. Our dew point is at 36. And about this time of the night, sometimes we can use dew point to kind of give us an indication of just how cold it might get. So we might drop down into the middle 30s here, at least in the Dayton area this evening. Live Doppler 7 shows Richmond, you're down to 41, along with Bell Fountain, some of our cooler spots. Springfield checking in at 44. Greenville, you're checking in at 43, and Oxford checking in at 45. And actually, right now, Dayton is the warmest spot in the Miami Valley. I do want to show you satellite. You can notice this field of clouds is starting to shrink ever so slightly here over the last few hours. And once we can get that clearing to take full effect, our temperatures are going to drop pretty quickly for us through the rest of the overnight hours. You can just see how slow this has been to recede here this evening across the Miami Valley. I do think that will continue, and then we will wake up to some pretty chilly temperatures tomorrow morning. Our overall forecast confidence for Thursday, I feel really good. We're going to have a dry and cool day. And I say cool because highs near 60 are still actually below average for this time of the year. I have a pretty high confidence that we're going to see at least one 80-degree day this weekend, likely on Sunday for us here. And then rain chances over the next 7 days. There's still some fine-tuning to do with that, so we'll give it a medium confidence as it stands right now. For tomorrow, here's how things shake out for you hour by hour. Mid-30s with sunshine during the morning. And if you happen to wake up to frost, you might have to allow a couple minutes to scrape that off your windshield as we get you towards lunchtime. We're making a run towards 50 degrees. And as you get ready to come home from work and school tomorrow, upper 50s to around 60 degrees. An overall really nice day compared to what we had out there today. Show you Futurecast here through Friday. The clouds starting to build back in ahead of our next system. But as we get towards Friday night and Saturday morning, some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms are possible. Not expecting severe weather with this activity. We're just not going to have the best ingredients available. We get you towards Saturday afternoon, we start to see a few breaks in some of this activity, and that trend will continue right into Sunday as well. Now, watch what happens on Sunday. Looks like this massive rain shield wants to try to approach, but look what ends up happening. It just stays right off to our west, and it's going to stay parked there. So I think most of our Sunday actually ends up being dry. Our Storm Center 7-day forecast shows 79 degrees on Saturday. We're into the 80s for Sunday, and again, I think we're mainly dry there. We stay warm next week with a few more chances for showers and thunderstorms as well.
It's been more than a week of protests at Columbia University in New York. Tonight, the sign of progress between students in the school and law enforcement as the war in the Middle East rages on.